The Philadelphia Eagles have one of the most talented rosters in the entire NFL in 2026, my friend, and at the center of every offensive conversation about Jalen Hurts, about Sean Mannion's new scheme, and about the new first-round wide receiver, there is a defensive story that may end up being even bigger. A defensive tackle who is just 25 years old, who has already been compared to the greatest player at his position in the entire history of the NFL, who was a first-team All-Pro in his second season, who was part of the Super Bowl LEX championship roster, but who the following season disappointed, missed games due to injury, and was ejected before playing a single snap in Week 1. Now, in 2026, this player enters the fourth and final year of his rookie contract with a motivation that goes far beyond pride. Heading into a season that will define the largest contract of his career, surrounded by a defensive roster that may be the best in recent franchise history, and with a historic window to win an award no Eagle has claimed since 1987, this defensive tackle has everything he needs to dominate the NFL in a way Philadelphia has never seen before. Who is this player, and why could 2026 be the year he finally delivers his full potential? I am going to explain why Jaylen Carter is the most intriguing candidate in the entire league for the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award in 2026. What needs to happen for him to get there? And what is at stake for the Eagles if he manages to turn that potential into real dominance across 17 weeks? But first, if you are a die-hard Eagles fan, hit that like button and subscribe right now because this conversation touches on the highest ceiling this Philadelphia defense has ever had. To understand the full weight of what Jaylen Carter could represent in 2026, you need to look at the numbers he has already accumulated in just 3 NFL seasons. In 43 games as a professional, Carter has recorded 13.5 sacks, 66 tackles, 25 tackles for loss, and 37 quarterback hits, production that, even distributed unevenly across seasons, places his body of work among the most dominant of any defensive tackle in his generation. In the 2024 season, when the Eagles won Super Bowl LEX, Carter earned first-team All-Pro honors for the first time, recorded 75 quarterback pressures according to PFF, a massive jump from the 50 he had the previous season, and was a foundational piece of the defense that Vic Fangio built into the best in the NFL by EPA per play that year. Bleacher Report described Carter as the closest thing to Aaron Donald that exists in the NFL since the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year retired. It is a heavy comparison, but it is not a careless one. Carter has the explosiveness, the strength, and the movement skills of a 314-pound athlete who simply should not be able to move the way he moves. When locked in and focused, he is a force of nature that forces offensive coordinators to design entire plays around preventing him from wrecking the backfield. But 2025 was a season that did not honor what Carter had promised in 2024, and being honest about that is necessary to understand what needs to change in 2026. Carter played just 12 games, recorded 3 sacks, and showed a clear production decline across practically every meaningful metric. Part of that drop was explained by both shoulders. Carter spent the entire season unable to lift weights, aggravated the injury at multiple points throughout the campaign, and missed games in December after undergoing a medical procedure. But part of the story was behavioral. In Week 1, Carter was ejected before playing a single defensive snap, following the spitting incident directed toward Dak Prescott at the opening of the Eagles and Cowboys game. The Eagles lost one of the best players on their entire defense before the game had even truly started. And even after his return, the consistency that had defined the 2024 season never fully came back. By the end of the year, Philadelphia was eliminated by the San Francisco 49ers in the wild-card round, and the absence of the 2024 version of Carter on the defensive line was felt clearly throughout that entire campaign. And that is precisely why 2026 has all the ingredients to be the season that defines Jaylen Carter's career. The first ingredient is financial motivation, and it could not be more concrete. Carter is in the 4th and final year of his rookie contract, valued at $21.8 million in total. He will enter the free agent market after 2026 at a moment when the interior defensive tackle market was just reset by Jeffrey Simmons at $35.3 million per year and $100 million guaranteed. If Carter delivers an all-pro level season in 2026, the kind that shows health, consistency, and dominance week after week, he could become the highest paid defensive tackle in NFL history. That kind of financial motivation has the power to transform players. And Carter knows exactly what is on the line. The second ingredient is the defensive context surrounding him. With Jonathan Greenard arriving via trade from the Minnesota Vikings on a 4-year, $98 million contract, with Jihaad Campbell stepping into a full-time starting role at linebacker, with Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt on the edge of the pocket, and with Jordan Davis alongside Carter on the interior line, Fangio has never had a group with more depth and more talent than what he has in 2026. More threats around Carter means more one-on-one situations for him to exploit, and one-on-one is precisely where Carter is the most dangerous. The third ingredient is the history that Vic Fangio himself carries regarding Carter. When asked about the defensive tackle ahead of the 2025 season, Fangio said something that stayed with every Eagles fan. The good news about Jaylen is twofold. First, he played very well for the team the year before, and second, he can still improve a great deal. Fangio knows Carter better than anyone outside the locker room itself, and if the coach who built the best defenses of the entire modern professional football era believes Carter still has room to grow after an all-pro season, the ceiling of this player is something the NFL has not yet seen. Fangio is an architect, and Carter is the most precious material he has ever had at his disposal. The historical stakes could not be clearer. No Eagle has won the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award since Reggie White in 1987, nearly 40 years ago. It would make Carter only the second defensive tackle in 25 years to win the award, following Aaron Donald, who claimed it 3 times with the Los Angeles Rams. NFL.com already placed Carter on its list of long-shot candidates for major awards in 2026, stating that if he avoids the distractions that have impacted his play, he absolutely could hoist the Defensive Player of the Year trophy. The language is cautious, as it should be after a disappointing season. But the potential is acknowledged by everyone who analyzes the game closely. Carter does not need to be Aaron Donald to win this award. He needs to be the version of himself that existed during the 2024 playoffs, for 17 consecutive weeks. With the largest contract of his career waiting at the end of 2026, with a defense around him that is a legitimate argument for the best in the entire NFL, with Vic Fangio in the 3rd year of a system built in part to maximize what Carter does, and with the hunger of someone who spent an entire season performing below his own level, the question left for you, Eagles fan, is direct. Do you believe Jaylen Carter is going to deliver the dominant season in 2026 that everyone knows he is capable of, and that season will be good enough to win the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award? Drop your opinion in the comments. Do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I will be back later to keep you updated with the latest Eagles news.